Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about luxury on a budget, so if you're into that sort of thing, please make sure you subscribe, like all the videos that you enjoy, and click the bell notification icon to be notified when I post a new video. Today's video is a collaboration with Jill Maurer. She's a jewelry designer and she has a YouTube channel, and she's doing a video every single day for the year 2019. She's a little more than halfway through at this point, and I have watched every single one of them, and she's doing an amazing job. She also has gorgeous jewelry. I will link her jewelry websites below so you can check that out if you'd like. But she also does handbag videos sometimes, and of course that's my wheelhouse. So we have collabed on a few videos, and we were talking recently about some more collaboration ideas, and we realized that we both have a Longchamp Le Pliage tote, but we have different ones. I have the classic version in the black and the brown leather, and she has the Neo version, and actually I don't even know what that means, so I'm looking forward to watching her video to see what that means. I think I know what it is, but I don't know for sure, so I'm going to find out by watching her video, and you should too. So please, when you're done checking out mine, go over to hers. I'll have it linked below as soon as I can the day of, and check out her video also. What I'm going to do is talk about this bag. I've had this for a few years now. I think I bought it in 2014, right before going to New York City for a vacation. I'd wanted it for a long time before then, so I'm going to talk to you about why I didn't get it before, why I did get it, whether I think it was worth it. I'll talk about dimensions, I'll talk about how I use this bag, some of the different uses I've found for this bag. I'm going to show you a size comparison between this and the Neverfull, because they're fairly similar, and why you should get this bag if you're thinking about getting it. I also have an extra little tip that maybe no one else in the entire world has ever told you about. I know I've mentioned it once before on my channel. I'm going to tell you again, and then you'll be like in the club. You'll be one of the insiders. All right, let's get started. So first, I put off getting this bag for a long time. I had wanted it. I see it everywhere. I don't see it that often in Houston, but when I lived in New York, I saw it everywhere. And then when I went back to New York for that trip in 2014, was it 2014? This is 19. 18, maybe it was 2017. Everybody and their dog had this exact bag, which to me, I've never been one of those people that cares whether everybody else has the same bag that I do. To me, I see that as meaning not just that the bag is popular or trendy or something, but that that bag is useful and worth the money for the most part, for a lot of people anyway. Like the Neverfull and the Speedy, right? A lot of people have those. You see them more than any other Louis Vuitton bags. But there's a reason for that. People find those bags very useful. And the same is true with the Longchamp Le Pliage tote. Totes in general are useful. The size is useful. It is quite large. I don't have anything in it at the moment. Oh, I'm also going to talk about a few pros and cons of this. So I'd wanted it for a long time, but the reason that I didn't get it is that this bag is about $150. Now compare that to the luxury bags that we talk about on this channel. That's super cheap, right? But when you're thinking about the real world, and most of the time I actually am, $150 for a nylon bag seems a little ridiculous, right? It was a bitter pill to swallow thinking about spending that much on a nylon bag. But I finally did it, and I have not regretted it, and I will talk about why in this video. The dimensions of this bag: across the top, this is the widest part from end to end, it is 18.5 inches. It's pretty big. So the bottom from the corner seam to the corner seam is 11.5 inches. From the corner seam to the top of the bag is also 11.5 inches. And then the depth of the bag, or the width there, right here, that is 8 inches. So it's a really good sized bag. Mine is black nylon, and it has the brown leather trim. And you can see there's a texture on the leather. It has contrasting light stitching. It's not white, it's like a cream color. And there are some things embossed on the leather. So here is the horse and jockey logo on the front. On the back it says Longchamp, and then there's some stuff written between the stitching there. It says Le Pliage Shopping Model Déposé. What does that mean? I looked it up, and I know the English definitions of that word It's spelled Depose, D-E-P-O-S-E, but this is, I believe, a French company, and that word in French, according to Google, said to deposit. So is that a word like for a bag that you deposit things in your bag? French people, help me out, please. It also has some details on the metal here. So on that little snap, it says Longchamp 1848, if my eyes don't deceive me. I love the zipper pull here. Oh, it's 1948. It says it on the zipper pull. So this says Longchamp 1948, and it's such a cute zipper pull. I think that's maybe the best zipper pull, one of the best zipper pulls I've ever seen, with the little horse and jockey. It also has these two leather pieces on the end to help you have a place to hold your bag when you're zipping and unzipping. And it has this snap on the back. The reason for that, if you're not familiar with the Le Pliage, is that you can fold this tote up to make it very compact for storage. So it folds up right like that, and this flap here snaps onto that snap that's on the back of the bag, and it's just really nice and compact like that. What I have done with this bag is, if I'm traveling on an airplane, for example, I'll take my Neverfull as my personal carry-on, fold this up and put it inside the Neverfull, or inside my suitcase, either way, and then you have two bags. So you could have your handbag, use this as a shopping bag. That's one use for it. And that's definitely a pro of the bag, being able to fold it up like that. Now, one of the cons is that when you're zipping and unzipping, this flap really gets in the way. I think it's a pretty touch. It adds some security to the bag when you have things inside it. But in order to zip the bag open, you run into that leather thing, so you have to flip it back, and it doesn't want to stay flipped back because it's trained to flip forward. So you have to flip it back, sometimes hold it in place. Same thing when you're closing it. The inside of the bag is one big dark black hole. Clearly you can't see very well in there, but if you notice on the front of the bag, there is some stitching right here. That's because there's a pocket of that very same size right in the front of the bag. You can see it there. And there you go. Now the inside of the pocket and the interior of the bag, except for this piece that covers the pocket there, or that is the pocket, the interior of the pocket and the inside of the bag are sort of a coated nylon. You can see how shiny that is, and that makes it, it's sort of rubbery, and it makes it pretty much waterproof. Now I won't say totally waterproof. I have never had any water get in this bag, and I've had it in lots of different kinds of weather, but I don't want to get in trouble if somebody, takes this out in the ocean and water gets in it. So I'm going to say it's water resistant, but for me, it has been waterproof so far. Also, the strap drop on this is a nice long 9 inches, very easy to slip over your shoulder like this. Super duper easy, and plenty of room for your arm. One other thing, when you're opening the bag, you can just flip that one handle off. You do have to lift that leather piece up, and you can get in the bag while it's still on your shoulder. You don't have to take it off, which is always a plus with a tote bag. Okay, I want to show you this bag next to the Neverfull so you can get an idea, because a lot of you have an idea of how big the Neverfull MM is. So you can see that they are very comparable in size. They're just about identical there. Here is the side view, also very much the same. Here are the bases next to each other. Super similar. They're pretty much the same size. One of the big advantages to the Le Pliage tote over the Neverfull is that the Le Pliage has a zipper. A lot of people who really love the Neverfull don't get it because it doesn't have a zipper, and they look for an alternative. And there are alternatives from Louis Vuitton, of course, but this is also a good option. Now, I said that I did hesitate in buying this bag because of it being $150 for a nylon bag, right? But that once I finally bought it, I've never regretted it. The reason for that is the ways that I have used it. I have found it a really invaluable piece in my handbag collection. It's not a bag that I use every day, but it is a bag that I feel like I need for certain occasions. And sure, there are other bags that aren't Longchamp. You don't have to pay this much to find bags that are like this. There are lots of knockoffs too. By the way, there are lots of fakes on eBay So be careful with that if you don't want to buy fakes. But what I use this for primarily is my wet weather bag, or a tote that I want to take somewhere that I know there's a potential of my bag getting dirty and I don't want to take a luxury bag in that situation. Then this is the bag that I reach for. Anytime it rains, this is the bag I pull out. When we went to New York a few years ago, we happened to be there in the middle of a huge blizzard. And this is the bag that I carried around with me. I'm gonna look for a photo and put it up here of me carrying this in Central Park and all the snow that was on it. It got so wet, it had piles of snow laying on it for hours on end, and no water got inside. Even up by the zipper, nothing got in through there. I was very, very impressed with how that bag stood up in the middle of Central Park for hours in the snow. And that is probably why so many New Yorkers carry this bag. Recently, we took a short trip up to Dripping Springs, Texas, and I wanted to take my Louis Vuitton Terrain MM with me. But on the way out of town, we had to have the dogs with us to drop them off at my mom's house, and on the way back, pick them up. And I know the dogs always end up on my lap, and I didn't want them messing around with my Louis Vuitton bag and potentially messing up the vachetta. So I took this Le Pliage along, and I'll see if I can find a picture and put it here. And I used this to put my Terrain inside of it. So I used this to protect my Terrain. And I also put it on the floorboard of the car in front of me, which I didn't want to do with my Terrain. I've used this as a shopping bag, like for groceries, because it is a wipeable interior. Can throw produce in here. Like, I don't like using those plastic bags at the grocery store that just get thrown in the trash. They're used for like 10 minutes and then they go into the trash. So I'll throw those into something like this sometimes. And I know people use the Le Pliage as a tote bag. A lot of college students use it. Because it's so big, it holds a lot, and it's very sturdy. It'll hold books and papers, whatever you need. Some people use them as gym bags. Some people use them as baby bags, diaper bags. It is just such a versatile piece, and it does still have a little of that luxury sort of aura about it. Even though it's only $150, I consider it a luxury brand. I think a lot of people do. As far as wear on this bag, I am not easy on it. I throw it around, don't worry about it getting damaged. One thing that I noticed when I pulled it out here is on the leather, it does have a scuff on it right there. There's that scuff mark where the outer coated leather has been scraped off. I don't know when or how that happened, but that is the only mark that I see. The outside is also wipeable, so anytime I've gotten it dirty or anything's gotten on it, I just take a wet rag and wipe it off, and it comes right off. And I love this bag so much that I want to get another one. I've been looking for a light color, like an off-white beige sort of color. And a lot of those lighter bags will have a white interior. That makes it a lot easier to see. And also right now I've stuffed this with one of my bag organizers. This is the same organizer that fits in my Neverfull, fits perfectly in here too. So if you already have one of those, or you think, God, that's just a big gaping hole, I need some kind of organizer, you can get some of those felt organizers like from Amazon. That's where I get mine. And I'll put my Amazon link below so you can check those out if you are interested in getting one. Longchamp doesn't have a shop in Houston, at least as far as I know. I got this at Nordstrom. Sometimes they go on sale. I have also seen them almost every time I go to my TJ Maxx, which is near the Houston Galleria. They usually have them there. Now the discount's not all that much, it's $20 or $30, but it's something. And sometimes they have them marked down quite a bit. Like I feel like I've seen some for maybe $80 instead of $120 or so, but those are often colors that aren't like the classic colors. Like, they're at TJ Maxx for a reason, you know? They're not damaged, they're just not as desirable as some other colors. But that's something to check out. All right, let me tell you my top secret tip for the Le Pliage. One thing I like to do to dress up my bags is add bag charms. A lot of the bag charms, the clips on them are too small to fit around these handles, which by the way they do have something inside them, I think. So they're not totally flat, they're a little rounded on one edge, and then they have the sewn edge and some glazing on the other side. So in order to add bag charms, what I figured out to do is I just took this little key ring and I added it to this strap here, and it'll flip around to either side, of course. So now anytime I want to add a bag charm, I just clip it to that ring, like so. And then I've got a bag charm on my bag to dress it up a little bit. Or something like this, or like a Louis Vuitton clay, you can use as a little wallet outside of your bag so you don't have to dig into the bag and deal with the flap and the zipper and all that. in order to get your wallet out. So if you have been on the fence about this bag, I would definitely recommend it. It is a little pricey for what it is, I think, but so is everything else I talk about on this channel, just about. But this is a more affordable piece of luxury for most people, and it's very useful. It's held up very well. I find a lot of uses for it, a lot of situations in which I really want to have this bag in my collection, and I feel like there would be a hole in my collection without it, so I highly recommend it. Now, I'm gonna go watch Jill Maurer's video. I hope you will too, because I'm very curious about her Le Pliage Neo. I don't know what color it is. I don't know what size it is. Oh, by the way, I mentioned the strap drop is 9 inches here. These bags also come with a shorter handle if you don't want the long one. So I don't know which one she has. I'm very curious. So I'm gonna head over there now. I hope you will too. And remember, I will link her below so it's very easy for you to find her video. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Bye.